Good afternoon. Welcome. We are going to get started right away so that I can get through a couple of projects for you guys. I'm still not feeling the best, but I'm gonna get through this, and hopefully this will make me feel a little bit better spending my Sunday afternoon with you. So, I want to welcome you to Barbara's Stamp Pad on this fabulous sunny Sunday afternoon from San Antonio, Texas. Today, we're going to be featuring a new stamp set that Close to My Heart released at the beginning of April. And it wasn't just one stamp set, it was a whole series of stamp sets that are geared towards astrological signs. Now, I'm not like a big astrological person, but I know that I'm a Taurus. That's about it. I know about me and my personality and stuff like that, but I don't do any kind of deep diving into astrological anything like that. But when I saw this stamp set in the series, I was like, okay, I gotta get at least Taurus. But then I thought, no, wait, I gotta get the whole set so that I'll be able to do other cards that other cards or other projects with other signs if I want to do them. And these are like all of them except for Taurus. I've got Taurus laying right here because it's open. I'm using that one. But this is the entire set of stamps. There's no thin cuts that are available. They're all stamps. And they're really small stamps too, by the way. Just to give you an example. Like the little acrylic sheet it's on is like 3¼ inches by 3 inches. So the stamps are not very big, but you still can make some pretty cool cards and some projects. And today we're going to be doing a card and a coordinating 8x8 kind of gift page. I have a frame ready to go so that we can add it into a frame so you can see what it would look like. But yeah, these are all of the stamp sets. Depending on, I did get my Gemini that was left off my last order. I got that actually in earlier this morning, and the Scorpio one that was on back order, I got that one a couple of days ago. So I do have the complete set. As far as I noticed this morning, they were all still available. So if you want a particular sign, I would suggest that you go and you get it like now before it's gone. I would think as the inventory levels start to drop, that a lot of these are going to become unavailable, but they're still available. And each stamp set is, I believe they're $8.95 a piece. So they're reasonable. They're not, they're reasonable. And let me put those back and see who is with me. Hello, Beverly. No, I'm not, but I thought, let me just do this because I didn't have the energy last night to pre-record this. So I thought, let me just go live. I think I can squeeze out an hour for you guys. Being that today is April 14th. I'll be live this weekend, but then next weekend is going to be retreat. I'll be at my weekend retreat. So there won't be a Saturday night on the 27th or the 28th. There won't be a live 2 weekends from now. So just because I'll be at retreat. So yeah, fun times are coming up. And so yeah. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be doing a drawing afterwards, so stay with me till the end. Hello, Stella, and hello, Paula. Thank you for sharing. All right, so if you missed it a while ago, I showed we're going to be starting. Let me get a little post-it. That tells you how small the stamps are. That's a post-it note. But that's what each one of the stamps looks like. Not only do you have the large center stamp that has the sign itself, or what do you call this? Like I said, y'all, I am not into astrological stuff, but it's the stars, whatever you call it. If you know what I'm trying to say, just put it in put it in the comment section. But you've got Taurus in just a simple font there, and then you have Taurus in a little kind of I don't know what I'm trying to say, just a prettier font, I guess. And then you have the symbol. And that's it. So there's basically 4 stamps on each astrological sign. That's just the item number. That's not actually a stamp, but that gives you an idea of what we're going to be working with. So let's get started on the card itself. And this is what I came up with. Now, I did consult with a lady that is into all of the astrological stuff, and that's literally like her business. And she gave me a sheet that showed all of the different colors that represent each of the signs. Now, I always thought it was just one color, but it's not. Each color has like at least 4 different colors that can be associated with that sign, depending on its quote unquote strengthness. That's what she told me. So I thought that's way too much for me. That's just too much. I am just going to go with the flow. And what I did is I picked last week, if you joined me, I dove into the journey pattern paper and the cardstock. So I basically just took the same paper because I want to be able to use that paper. It's gorgeous. The journey color is really, really gorgeous. And I just took some coordinating colors. There's a little black hair. My guess it's a cat hair. I just took the coordinating colors from the journey paperwork and the specialty paper that was included and just mashed it together with some other colors that I thought would go really, really well with it. So we're going to do this card. Now, this embossing folder is, but look, I had a squirrel moment there. Look, this is what happens when you complete your card and then you go to close your ink pad. The card flipped over like that when I went to grab the ink pad, and it got the corner right there. So obviously this is going to be my sample. And but yeah. So let's go ahead and get started with making this card. And I literally, y'all, here it is. Whew, I was like, I literally just had all my supplies. And then we're going to make a little 8x8 little kind of gift page. So let's get this burnish there. This is going to be a portrait card. And let me bring this down just a little bit more so you can see. And hello, Darcy. And hello, Mary Ellen from Montana. Thank you for sharing. All right. So I've already embossed this piece of mink. But what I want to do is I want to distress the edges a little bit. So I'm going to grab my mink. Sorry, not ink, mink. And look, everything's sticking to it because of the magnet inside. We're going to daub around the edge just to give it a little distressed. But I will say, I know this is probably just a little bit prematurely, but this particular embossing folder, it's not close to my heart. It's something different. It is called, what is this one called? I just had it right here. What is this called? It's called Dots of Diamonds. And it is it's a tailored expressions embossing folder. And I liked it so much, and I thought this card needed something on the back end of it. So I decided to pull this one out, and I'm going to show it to you a little closer so you can see if you can't quite see the design. But I used it. I'm going to use it in this card, and then I'm also using it. I'm starting to play with other stuff, y'all. Just keep that in mind. I'm so excited. I have some orders coming, and I'm hoping that they'll be here One of them is supposed to arrive tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that because it has the paper that I need in order to work on next month's class kit in the mail. Oh, let me go ahead and do this one while I have this one out. There's another piece of ink that I decided to distress, sponged off the edge here. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, it has the paper. I completely lost my train of thought there. It has the paper that we need for next month's class kit in the mail, and then also the spring project that I've designed in my head, but I'm waiting on the rest of the supplies so I can start actually putting it together. And hopefully, if I get everything that I need by the time I have to go to retreat, then that'll be something that I can work on at retreat, and then be able to show you guys. Maybe do a quick live from retreat to give you kind of a sneak peek of a finished project. So yeah. All right. So this is the Dots of Diamonds embossing folder from Tailored Expressions. And we're going to put this down first. So let's get this down first. Okay. Kind of like that distressed edge there. There we go. And now let's go ahead and work on this piece right here, but I want to go ahead and mat it to this piece of Journey. Okay. That way I can stamp on it and then get it down. So we're going to put this piece of mink. I didn't write down the measurements for this, so I will have to update the event description when after the video. Okay, so now that we have this on there, we're going to take just a regular black ink. So I'm just using black, and we want to stamp. We want to stamp the Taurus stamp. So let's get that inked up, and we're going to stamp that basically towards the right. Now I had to go look it up to make sure I was going to be stamping these in the right direction. And what helps is there's an image right there, like a planet that is upside up. So that kind of helped. But basically, we're going to stamp. We're going to stamp that, and then we're going to take Taurus in that scripty font, and we're going to stamp that over to the right, kind of like that. And then there's another Taurus that's in a super small font, and we're going to stamp that along the bottom. And we're going to use the bottom of this piece of mink as our guide. Oops, that is crooked. So much for using that as a guide. It's handmade. There we go. I guess it was just my first one that I was off, but you get the drill. And is that it for stamping? That's it for stamping on that, but we still have to stamp happy birthday on another piece. So let's go ahead and get this. We're going to get this up and put this on the center. So let's pop this up with some dimensionals. I hope y'all are doing great wherever you're at. It is a gorgeous day here in San Antonio. Yesterday, I had to go outside several times just to get some fresh air. I just felt like I couldn't get a good breath in, and it was kind of concerning. So when I go outside, not only do I get some sunshine on my face, but I felt like I could breathe a little bit better, even though I'm not. All right, so this is a piece of that specialty paper, but what we're going to put on first is we're going to put on this little strip of black that I have. And we're going to put that right above square. Let me trim this off a little bit. I got a little bitty white piece hanging on the edge there. We're going to put this just slightly above where that Taurus line is. I can't believe I stamped that crooked, but y'all get it. Is that straight? I'm looking at it from a different angle. Okay, that's straight. And then we're going to put down this piece of specialty paper right above that. So we're just going to bump that right above that. And this stretches, both these pieces stretch across this piece of journey that we have going there. And then we're going to go ahead and stamp a couple of more things just in a regular black ink. And in the middle of this heart, which this heart, let me bring that up so you can see that a little bit. This heart, well, you can see that stitch around the edge. That's not one of the supplies that you can order. It's part of this decorative shapes that are no longer available, of course. So it was this heart that I took, but I decided to go ahead and get this thin cut set just because there's so many different, and there's stitched edges to them as well. So you got flowers and scallops and this particular design, arrows, banners, hearts. There's a tab, a couple of circles. So that's where that this little heart comes from. But unfortunately, we can't get that anymore. But what I did is in the center of that heart, I'm sure in our stashes of craft items, you probably have a small heart somewhere that you can substitute. The little Taurus symbol, I've got two stamps on this. I'm stamping that basically in the middle, just like that. And then the other stamp is going to go for the scrapbook page. So let me set that aside. Now on here, we're going to stamp happy birthday. And scraps will do just fine for what we need here. So happy. We're going to be cutting these out. So that's why it doesn't matter unless you have a favorite. Unless you have a favorite die, thin die that you want to use, you can do it. I tried using the banners, but the banners were too big for this area. So I thought, let's just use a scrap piece of some white daisy and cut these out. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to cut these out square. And let me make sure that's the top is trimmed as well. This side seems a little crooked, so let's do that side, and then let's do, it seems a little crooked, but I think it's the bottom. I think I didn't cut the bottom straight. So let's try this again along the bottom. There we go. And then let's do let's do the birthday part. Nothing fancy, just cutting around it. Trying to get as close as I can, but still leaving a little bit of room there. There we go. All right, let's get all these little pieces gone. And then let's pop these up on some dimensional. So let's take happy, and we're going to put one in the middle. We're going to put this kind of offset, but I want to see a little bit of that pretty paper behind there. And then let's take the birthday part, and I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on there. And we're going to put birthday right beneath it. And then the heart, I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of that. And we're going to fill up this little space over here with the heart that has the Taurus symbol on it. And then I took my black lip pen, and we're going to make a manual stitched edge around this piece of mink. I looked to see, and the Le Pen, you know what? I meant to say this a while back when these became unavailable. This is the black Le Pen, but I was actually at, make sure to check your Dollar General stores. And I say that because I did the bottom as well. I was at my Dollar General store maybe a month. Well, maybe it's been about a month ago, I guess. But they have a little craft section, and I saw a 5-pack of literally Le Pens in different colors. There wasn't black. It was like some other colors, some brighter colors. But they were at the dollar store, a 5-pack. And I couldn't find a price, but I was like, well, it was the same brand. And I thought, wow, I need to come and check out my dollar store craft section more often. Now, if they were colors that I used, I would have bought them, but they didn't seem to be colors that I think that I would use. So I just kind of passed them up. So, but yeah, make sure to check your dollar stores for those kind of craft supplies. And I'm just using some itty bitty sparkles to put on these. I guess they're stars. I guess they're supposed to represent stars on this. I'm just being random with it too. You know what? You could just do them on the dots that make the actual sign. That would have been cool to do too. But I'm just being random with where I'm putting these. I want to put one up here just to kind of balance those out. And I think that's it. Make sure I'm not missing something. But that was my sample. And then that was the one that we just made. So you can see putting some itty bitty sparkles on this top part up here just kind of help. Also balances out the shimmer in this little paper, this silver shimmer as well. So, but yeah, I get a little boo-boo there, but it's not as bad as this boo-boo right here where I got some ink on my card. So hope you like it. Now we're going to do a coordinating 8x8 little scrapbook kind of gift type page, basically. So I got some pieces right here. I want to say this is mist. I didn't look at the paper that I was pulling, but I think this is our mist paper. And let me catch up on some comments real quick before I go any further. Where am I? Hello, Marsha. Marsha's joining us from YouTube. And Paula says, I like the font of the happy birthday. Yep, it's a nice big font for a card. Hello, Vanessa. Welcome. I think this is your first time joining us live, so welcome. All right, so now we're going to do a coordinating little 8x8. I would have done a 12x12, but I thought, let me just start with the 8x8 with this particular series because it's not a traditional like scrapbook page layouts that I've been doing. So we're going to start with an 8x8 piece of this. Like I said, I think this is mist. And then we have a piece of harbor. I think all these colors go really, really well together. Now, I'm not going to use a whole lot of dimension on this, even though I have an 8x8 shadow box, because I want you to be able to, if you don't have shadow box, I want you to be able to put this like in a regular frame and gift it to somebody. And y'all are going to see how cute this looks like once it's framed. But we're going to get this centered. Okay. And then we have our piece of mist that we're going to put on top of that. So we're going to layer this piece of mist, and let's do that. Make sure this sticks. And this is also Taurus as well. I am a Taurus. Taurus the bull. That's about all I know. And every time I come across something that talks about like Taurus features and stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, that's totally me. All right. So next, what we're going to do is we do have a photo mat here. Now this is a 4x6, but I think I cut it 4¼ by 6¼ but it's really only going to be enough to where the top 4x4 is going to be for a card, because we're going to be decorating basically the bottom. But before we do that, this is going to go on top but we're going to put some things along the bottom here. And yes, it is laundry day here at the Rexdale. So you're going to hear I think that was Chris's wash. He's back to working night shift, so he's up right now and taking advantage of doing his laundry. All right, so let's get this down. This is just a thin strip of the mist, and we're going to start it about right here. I think that's a good starting point, and stretch it across. I think I might have cut this just a little bit too short, which is okay. Let me at least try to center it. Actually, you know what? That's going to get covered up a little bit, so it's okay if it's a little bit short over here. The next thing we're going to do is I have another piece of mist, and on this one we're going to be stamping. Where did I put it? We're going to be stamping Taurus, and we're going to stamp it. We're going to just use our regular black that we were using before, and we're just going to stamp Taurus all the way across. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stamp it a couple of times, but I think this is going to get covered up. I'm just going to stamp it once, because this other part's going to get covered up, and this is going to get covered up as well. So let's just do that. We'll just stamp it once. And this piece is going to go right above there. Alternatively, you could just take that piece out and just stamp it directly on that piece of mist, but I went ahead and just left it. And then we have, where did my roll go? The shimmer trim. I decided to break out the silver shimmer trim. It's been a while since I've used this, but I want to make sure that it's long enough, and it looks like I need to cut just a little bit off the edge. We're going to put this down, and the shimmer trim is, let me grab it off camera here. It's got an adhesive backing to it, and I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying to grab the adhesive backing. Let me get some tape and see if that helps. Sometimes that helps to grab onto stuff that's. Is it going to help? Is it going to help? Nope, that's not helping. All right. Well, I'm just going to have to keep trying. Bear with me here. Worst case is I'll just put adhesive on the back of this, but it's got some adhesive already on it. So I think I had some problems the first time separating it, but it's just because it's so strong. All right, let me try the other side. Maybe the other side will be a little more forgiving. Well, and I have two pieces of this too. I got this piece, this long piece I'm going to use, and the smaller piece I'm going to use on the picture. So, oh, there it is. Almost. It went between my fingernails. It went between my fingernails, guys. Oh, this is the stuff that gives me anxiety. Trying to pull these apart. It comes apart. It's just driving me nuts now. All right, let's try this again. A little bit closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. And there we go. There we go. Look at that. This is what I was talking about. I was like, oh my God. The other piece is smaller, but we're going to put a piece of this silver trim right on top of this Taurus. Oh, I probably should have used another color because now I can't see where it starts and ends, but that's okay. We're just gonna go for it. All right, let's get it straight, at least, Barbara. There we go. Ooh, that was rough, y'all. All right. Now we have a piece of Journey that we're going to use. And if you noticed, I only embossed the left and the right side because that middle part is going to get covered up. And I used it with the same Dots of Diamonds embossing folder. And this is just going to go right on top. Right there in the middle. Okay. And then we have this piece. I wanted to take a piece from the card as well. And so I just got a little strip. I'll have to update it with measurements if you want to replicate this. This is going to go across the top here. Just like that. And then let me close that up. We have our photo. And let's do some stamping. Okay, so let's set that aside. And we've got a large circle. I took the thin cut circle, the largest one, and we're going to stamp the Taurus sign again. Well, the Taurus astrological picture here. We're going to stamp that right in the middle. Okay, and then we're going to take our little Taurus sign there, and we're going to stamp that like we did on the card in the middle of that right there. And let's close that up. And I just put my finger in the black ink, so let me wipe my finger down. I felt it hit that pad, and I was like, no. So, all right, now I'm going to take my Mink ink, and I have my dauber here, and I'm going to give it just a little color in the middle. I'm starting light and then going darker. It's going to give this center a little shade here. I want it to go lighter and then go darker as I'm doing this instead of having a big chunk of Mink. There we go. Just a little bit, not too much. Okay, and we're going to put this piece down next. Okay, so grab this piece that we just did, and we're going to put that up here in the top left-hand corner, leaving a little bit of that corner exposed and a little bit of this paper. Oh, we also have to stamp. Where's my Taurus? We're also going to stamp Taurus. Let's stamp the other Taurus, the smaller one, since we used that one down here. Let's do that. Let's put it in a different spot, but let's stamp it up there. Something really, really simple. Okay, so let's close that up, and then let's go ahead and get our photo mat down, which you can move it over a little bit if you want to see a little bit more of that sign, or you can kind of put it right in the middle. I am going to pop this up on dimensionals though. I do want to do it. I think it'll still be fine in a regular photo frame, just because it's just the depth of these dimensionals is very, very minor. It's not going to add a whole lot of thickness. Oops, add a whole lot of thickness to your project. So let's put it kind of right there. Okay. Now it covers up a little bit of that, but that's okay. Okay. And then we also have a smaller circle that we're going to put with a dimensional, and it's going to be over here. Maybe I should have put that a little bit lower. because I want this piece, this adhesive to stick to this piece of mist down here so that it doesn't interfere with the actual photo. Now on this one, this is a little journaling mat. Now I probably should have stamped on this one too, but on this one, it gives me an idea of where I need to stamp. So I want to stamp over here to the left, and we're going to be stamping birthday, just birthday, over here to the left, since we know that other side's going to get covered up just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and get that down. And we'll just slide that back behind there. Line that up. Now I do have another piece. I do have another piece of this that goes on. So we're going to work with this. Let me cut a little bit of this off. It's not a whole lot. Probably should have put that piece down first, but that's okay. We'll see how long it takes for me to get this piece off. And then we're going to put that down and do a little bit more stamping. Let's see. Oh, here we go again, guys. Here we go again. Now, this is a great layout, even if you're doing like another one of the other signs. So this is just an idea of what you can do for a card, and then maybe even a corresponding gift. Let me pull this a little bit closer to me. A corresponding gift item. Or if you're into smaller scrapbook pages, I can't get this. If you're into smaller scrapbook pages, you can get away with doing a smaller page. Okay, I got it. Now I'm just trying to separate it. Man, the adhesive on this shimmer trim is some serious stuff, you guys. Alternatively, if you don't have shimmer trim and you've got silver paper, you can just cut a strip. It's like a it's a 1/4 inch strip of that, and just put that down. That's probably easier than fighting with trim that's got adhesive attached to it. Trying to get it off camera, guys. All right, I'm tired of fighting with this one. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back because we know it's not coming off. That way I can slide this piece back behind there. Like I said, I probably should have put that on first. No, that's okay. Right under there. Okay. Now this piece right here, we're going to put a dimensional on the back. And we're going to put that right here just to help balance all of this white. And then up here in the top right-hand corner, I happen to have, I used one of the other thin cuts. It's the little flower one from this one. I did use that one to die cut a little thin cut here, but I wanted to put a flower, something. Oh, that's too big. Let me use a small one. And then we're going to put some, we're going to put this up on a dimensional. This just goes up here. And then I had on the back side of the Taurus, I had a little bitty star, and I took the star from the Journey stamp set. It's that little star right there. I decided to use the small one, and we're just going to stamp that in black as well in just a couple of spots. So we got one there. Uh-oh. It didn't get the, let me pull this a little closer so I can get the rest of it. There we go. Whew. I didn't get the whole star there. There we go. And then let's do one right there to fill that little spot up. Let's do another one. Let's stamp the Taurus. Is that going to fit? Oh, that's really close. Yeah, let's go ahead and stamp it. It should fit. I need something right here. Oh, y'all didn't hear that, but my shoulder just popped. That felt good. I keep putting my finger in my ink pad. So let's close that up. All right, then I decided to break out the big glitter gems because I want to put some glitter gems. Since there's glitter in this strip down here, let's put a large glitter gem up here in the middle of this flower. And then let's put, we'll put some smaller, I want to put a small one down here in that corner. And then back on this, I want to use the itty bitty sparkles. So the really bitty ones, just because they're small. I'm going to put those on the actual points that make out the sign in space. Like I said, if you know what I'm trying to say, help me out in the comments, because I am not an astrological person here. Let's just put one right here, since the other side's covered up already, just so that we have a little bit of sparkle in this image. I think I want to put one on that point as well. Sorry about moving that. All right. So we got little bitty sparkles. We got a couple of big glitter gems, a big one there and a small one there. This is large enough for a, let me cut this down. I don't know what size this is, but we're going to see. It's not quite 4 by 4, but let me cut it down to 4 inches. But that's a good spot for a photo. This is 4 inches long, but this was not quite 4 inches wide. And I was trying to I thought I would have a big enough piece to put a 4 by 4 photo up here at the top. But on this piece down here, you could draw some lines or just freehand journal in this little piece right here. Something needs to go right there. What needs to go right there? Let's put a glitter gem. Let's put a big one. I just noticed that that spot's way too open for me. There we go. All right. What do you think? I'm going to catch up on some comments here. Let me move this out of the way. Let me move all this out of the way. But yeah, we'll put a photo there. I'll just leave that there. This is for Taurus. And then where's my matching card? There's my matching card right there. Let me bring this down a little bit more. Hopefully I won't hit it again. If you wanted to, you could also put a little, just like we did with the Le Pen, we could do a little corner. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's add a stitched edge to just the bottom. And I am just freehanding this. Totally optional. Yeah, we'll just do it to the bottom. We won't do it to the top. But what do you think? Just so you've got a little stitched edge here that kind of matches with the card as well. So tell me what you think and let me catch up on some comments. Where did I leave off? Where did I leave off? I left off on Vanessa. Thank you, Marcia. And we got Raquel. She says, I'm late, so you may have already mentioned this, but are there kits for other signs? Yes. Yes. Let me bring this up a little bit. They're not kits, but there are individual stamp sets. But at the very beginning, I showed all of the other stamps. So you got the entire set. They're $8.95 a piece. Here's 3 more. There's your Cancer, Scorpio, and Capricorn. So yes, so there are all 12 available. As of this morning, I checked. So if you don't see the sign, or maybe if the sign says coming April, that means that there's more coming if it shows to be not available. But yes, the entire series is available. They're not very big stamps. And I'll show you again here. This is Post-it notes, and the size, this kind of fits right on top of that Post-it note. So you can see, and there's 4 stamps on each little sheet. You've got the Taurus in 2 different fonts, and then you've got the large circular image, and then you have the actual sign there. That's basically the same thing for each of the astrological signs. So good question. Thank you, Beverly. Hello, Roberta. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, the stitch just adds a little extra. Oh, let me put this in a frame. I have an 8x8 white shadow box frame. I don't have just a regular frame. I think the other side is the side that's a little, let me put a little adhesive so this sticks. That's just a photo placeholder, just to give you an idea. So we're going to put that in our little shadow box there. And I'm not going to close those because it was hard for me to pop those up without using my pliers. And let me flip this over and hopefully it stays. Let me do this. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just wiping off the front a little bit so we can, and hopefully that stays. Let me do this. Hold on. I'm going to put at least 2 of them down so that it stays in place for now. So I got to take a picture of this anyway. All right, let me do 1 on each side. I'll just do 4. Oh, that was rough. Okay, here we go. There we go. Whew. But that's what it would look like in a frame. So if you're giving something like this to somebody, not only do you have a coordinating card, let me hide that. Not only do you have a coordinating card with your astrological theme, but you also have a cute 8x8 little sampler, basically, that you can gift to somebody. Got a little spot for journaling, a good size spot for a 4x4 picture, and a little bit of decorating. So if it doesn't fit in a regular, which I don't think it will now that I added some dimension with those gems and the flowers and stuff, but you get the idea how you can make a super cute gift along with a coordinating birthday card. So yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining. So let's go ahead and get I realized what I did yesterday when I was sharing my screen. I was still sharing. I went back and I'm like, why wasn't it sharing? Why wasn't it sharing the clearance rack? And I have to go back and actually share the page itself. Like, it was only showing the one page because that's the only one I told it to share, but I got to get out and basically go back in when I go to share a page. So that's why it was only showing. Yeah. So I was like, oops. But I can run back through it again really quick here at the end. But this is last week's video. Let me shuffle some slices. I pulled out the cards from last week. So if you joined me last week, you saw that I made a couple of these cards using the Cherry Blossom stamp set and the Joy in the Journey paper. I made a couple of cards with coordinating envelopes, which, by the way, don't forget, I'm going to show you on the clearance rack. These envelope flap die cuts, they are on the clearance rack and they are cheap. But we're going to give away these couple of cards. So let me shuffle this a couple of times. Thank you to everybody that joined and liked and shared and commented. whether you watched on Facebook or YouTube. And let's give away some cards. Who is our winner? Darcy. And it was her share. Okay, so let me stop sharing. And then I'm going to have to share again so that I can show you guys the clearance rack page. And here we are. There we go. Now, also, if you missed watching my live from last night, the last scrapbook page for the Good Life, I announced that Close to My Heart came out with a new paper trimmer, and it is already marked down 30%, as well as the package of cutting and scoring blades that you can see right here. This was something they said that they had already been working on before they made the announcement, and they got the shipment in not too long ago, so they made this available a couple of days ago. Now, as you can see, the cutting blades pack is already unavailable, but you can still get the cutting and scoring blades. The handle on that extends out to, I believe it was 17 or 18 inches. So it's a long handle, but it's going to be a one of a kind, and you can only get it here while supplies last. And this is just an idea. Hopefully you can see this because I cannot see my comments, but this gives you an idea of what is out on the clearance rack. They added over 500 items earlier this past week. Those are the 5x7 flat thin cuts. Those aren't the ones for your regular cards that we make. But I'm going to scroll down here, and you can see there's all kinds of holidays, events, stamps that stand alone, stamps with thin cuts. You got albums, die cuts, all kinds of stuff. There's albums on there. If you have a granddaughter or daughter that was into like dancing, ballerina stuff, there's an 8.5 by 11 everyday album life. But then also down here, you're going to see, if you're into shaker cards, there's all kinds of shapes of shaker cards, acetate that goes with them. Loose gems. There's a slimline window foam and acetate. There is the flat thin cuts for our cards that we use, our A2 size cards that we use. $6.73, and you get two. You get the large one, and then you get the smaller one as well. So that's something that's like a basic kind of item that you want to have if you want to decorate your envelopes with some extra papers that coordinate with your cards to send those out. There's your ballerina stamp and thin cuts for $13.63. You get the ballerina stamp and the coordinating thin cuts. That's pretty cool. If you need memory protectors for your scrapbook pages, then it gets into brushes, which the clearance rack is very random, by the way. If you're into fairy garden stamps, there's just stamp and thin cuts for $9.78. These shimmer brushes, it stops, but then it picks up later. So if you see your color, you want to go through the entire list, but you can get an idea of me just scrolling. There's some stars. There's your circle shaker thin cuts for your circles. More brushes, more albums. These are the small ones, the little 4x4. You got Bluebell. So if you want to do a gift on a smaller level, these little 4x4 albums are probably perfect. $4.88. And they're available in this Bluebell color and white. And this Lagoon one is 6x6. So if you want something a little bit larger, there's one in Lagoon. And then there's that little heart one. I gave away one of these albums, a month or so ago. More thin cuts. More different kinds. If you have a military family, because of the Brave stamp and thin cuts are $9.43. $9.43. Barbecue. Some scrapbooking stamp sets. More thin cuts. Build a rainbow. Confetti. Christmas stuff. Paper. Heart shaker. Thin cuts. These little mini envelopes are so cute. They're little thin cuts and they're really tiny envelopes. So if you're scrapbooking and you have like something that you want to put in a little envelope as a keepsake within your scrapbook, that's the perfect little mini envelope, thin cut, to put it in. And then you have the simple serif lowercase thin cuts, but then you also have the uppercase. There's some classic ones down here as well. We're probably coming up on, if they're still here, more shimmer, but there's your classic ones. These letters are 1.5 inches tall, so they're pretty big letters if you need a good classic alphabet. These are only $40.48. And by the way, thank you to everyone that's placed an order on my website this week because of the clearance update. Those are some nice surprises to wake up and see that people are able to take advantage of so many awesome deals off this clearance rack. There's acrylic blocks that are marked down, and then you get into your basically your pocket scrapbooking cards, different designs. There's a lot of stuff on there. I'm still scrolling, you guys. Those are 5x7 envelopes. Those are not our 4 1/4 by 5.5, by the way. But if you do large cards, you've got a package of 5x7 white cards and envelopes available there. Lots and lots and lots. I'm still scrolling, and we're almost down to the end. But you can take your time as you scroll through. As they update it, they'll just keep adding stuff, and as things sell out, they'll just drop off. You won't see them anymore. Lots of sticker sheets, and finally, we're at the end. But that gives you an idea of where all the different things that are on there. All right, but these are the cards. I think y'all could see these when I did those. I just couldn't see them when I was sharing my screen, but those were the projects for today. Also, really, really quick, before I'm trying not to hit the hour mark, here's a sneak peek of what's to come in May. This is what I'm excited on. One part of my order is being delivered on Monday, and I'm thinking it's the paper that's included in with that. But the May class kit is going to be featuring this Be Happy Sweet collection, and the spring project that I've already got designed. I just need the products to work on it. We'll also be using this particular paper plus some other coordinating project items. So you want to keep an eye out for that, because I think y'all are really going to like the spring project as well as the class cards for next month. So that's just a little sneak peek. Been trying to give y'all sneak peeks of what's to come beginning May, because as of the end of this month, I will no longer be a Close to My Heart maker, and I'll be able to show you guys so many more projects and different papers that I have found over the last couple of months that are so super cute. But I'm going to wrap today up. I hope you enjoyed the card and coordinating this. I am going to do the other signs, but those are just going to be pre-recorded videos that are just going to get uploaded to my YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, and I'm just going to add them to the there'll be a playlist that'll have all of these. All of them are going to be different colors, and there'll be a little bit different designs. Some of them may look similar, but some of them will look just a little bit different. But there'll be a coordinating card and a scrapbook page as well. So thank you for joining me today, this afternoon. Have a great day wherever you're at, and we will see y'all in the next video. Make sure to take care and make sure to check on y'all's elderly neighbors. Bye, y'all.